I can't. I have no more energy. I'm sitting in front of you right now with a glass of water.
Yeah.
I cannot. I mean, we'll go out afterwards, right? I can drink after, but I cannot. The thought of drinking, like yesterday, everybody was over at the house, right, watching football.
Was fun. Thank you.
And after the wedding, I literally I was scared to drink that beer. I poured the beer in my glass, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm just going to drink this and just puke, or I'm going to have 19 and go to bed at like 1 in the morning.
Because you had a lot of beers at Savannah's wedding, your daughter's wedding.
Yeah. Oh man, I'll tell you right now.
Is this going to be the wedding?
So you did drink like after, like, so there was. I thought you weren't drinking at all, but
No, I didn't drink for the practice. What's the practice thing? What
rehearsal
the
dinner?
rehearsal dinner?
Yeah,
Yes, because I had to drive out to countryside, and so rehearsal dinner.
Yeah.
I didn't drink, so I drive back and forth, and then I didn't drink all the way up until
wedding, obviously.
But here, I'll tell you this: if you can walk your daughter down the aisle and you don't break out in tears, you are not human. It was so weird. I was so cool. I said to myself, I told you guys this yesterday.
Yeah.
I was going to be so cool. I was absolutely going to be the coolest guy in the world. I didn't nothing. I was so cool. She's got her. I got my arm out. She's got her arm in my arm, and everybody walks in, all the groomsmen and all the bridesmaids and stuff, and it's just her and I. And she goes, "Daddy, are you ready?" And I go, and I just that's it. That was it.
Yeah.
And I held it together about halfway down.
Aw.
Right, and everybody's looking at her, so she's looking out, and she's not seeing me. And the guy's just taking pictures. You hear just.
Did you have sunglasses on?
I wish, because I'm just actually literally crying my eyes out the
it on
entire
video?
time. It's I think he just took live pictures. I don't know if anybody was like videoing it.
Yeah.
But man, it is, and it's overwhelming. And I'll tell you this: after it's all over, about 5 minutes, I'm outside with my sister, and my sister's so great, right? She's just like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "I can't breathe right now." Like I literally, it's done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "I can't breathe." She goes, "Come on, let's go." And we went down to her room, and I sat. She's got because we stay at the hotel, and I just sat on the bed and I just cried for like 5 minutes.
Oh.
And it was so cool. She just went to the bathroom. She just hung out, and I just cried for 5 minutes. Man.
No, that's a time to cry. I mean, it's a kind of a big life changing event.
It didn't seem like a big deal. They've been dating for 4 years, and they talk about the wedding for a year.
It just hits you.
But it did.
The finality of it hits you like when you're in it. You're like right there, and like just that moment. Even though you're surrounded by people, you're just alone, just you and her for that nanosecond.
That's it. That was it. Too.
Everything is realized.
Yeah.
At that moment, everything that you just described leading up to it, 4 years, this, that, the wedding,
right?
It's all realized in a matter of seconds.
Yeah.
On a lighter note, I cried during an Indian movie earlier that day. There was a scene, and the overacting was tremendous, by the way. I mean, so the guy, he was supposed to marry this woman like 25 years ago. They split up due to circumstances beyond everyone's control. They reunite. Turns out she has a brain tumor. She's got a month to live.
Wait, she still sang though, right? In the movie, she still sang?
She was pretty good, yes. They get
brain tumor or not, there's got to be a song.
They get back to India, and then I guess there's like a replica of like the Big Ben clock in England where, like she saw a movie 20 years ago that she saw it on TV where a guy proposed to the woman. She goes, "That's how I want to propose to." So there's like a replica of it like at her house, and he gives her the ring, and then he turns around to look at Big Ben, and just before she says, "Yeah, she's dead," because she died of the brain tumor. And I was like, God damn it, that got me.
It's a Bollywood movie.
And I knew it was coming too, darn it.
So actually,
it's a Bollywood movie,
yes,
right?
those guys are good because I knew it was coming, and I still cried.
So I will tell you this: Teddy was telling me that he went to go see that, and I will tell you that those movies out of India, and by the way, Bollywood is actually a bad thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that because I was looking it up.
To say that?
You're not supposed to say that.
So it's like a derogatory
it's
term?
a derogatory term.
I didn't know that.
I couldn't figure. It's supposed to be like I don't know. I don't remember what the word was.
Okay, it's like a faux pas.
It is a faux pas, which I did not know.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I thought it was.
I didn't know either because when you read things about it, they call it
Bollywood all the time.
Yeah, they don't say it like in a derogatory way. That's why I thought that was like acceptable.
I think it's just one of those weird things that I mean, the people who know it's derogatory do, and everybody else is just like, oh, don't worry about it. Yeah. It's no big deal. It's like, well, it's not a big deal to you, but yeah, but those movies are great.
Yeah,
the singing and dancing and stuff.
I was
going to
say,
great.
So the guy who's the main star, what's his name? Khan.
Khan.
Yeah. So if we could somehow.
I'm trying. I'm
get
not lying
that
to
guy.
You. I told you yesterday.
Now, who's our big listeners in India? What's the name of the? Rao something. I can't think of the name.
Yeah, it's Jai
Savant.
Geo Savant.
Geo Savant. Yeah. So I mean, if we can get that guy for like 10 minutes on a Zoom call, that would be.
You realize,
and he's beautiful.
He makes. Oh yeah, he's a good guy. And he's like 50 years old.
He looks great.
But he's one of the most popular people on the planet.
Yeah.
He makes more money. Whatever whatever. I think he made like $100 million last year.
You know, it's not enough. They should give him more. Because I knew it was him, and I still believe in hook, line, and sinker.
I don't buy that thing where you say, I don't believe it because it's Tom Cruise.
Well, you know, it's funny. He's just so ridiculously better looking than most of the population. So when he's like walking in the village, it's just like it's hard to believe that someone.
It's the movies though.
Yeah.
You see him in movies, and you've never seen him in person.
Well, but I'm saying, you know,
I bet he's still a beautiful.
But I'm saying he's like not just beautiful, but he's like articulate. Like he's knowledgeable. He's wise. Like he knows more than everybody else. So he's just like
his character. He
stands out like a sore thumb. You know,
he plays like the god of gods. He was in a movie.
Yeah.
This one I saw the other day. And he's only in there for a few minutes at the beginning, where he's like a demon or like a powerful angel, and they're ripping him apart. It's so overacted and so ridiculous.
But it's still cool.
But it was just so much fun.
I want you to picture Shaquille O'Neal trying to make the high school basketball team, and he's like at the end of the bench, and there's questions if he's going to make the team or not. That's kind of like that ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's awesome. But yeah, so I reached out to him, and I reached out to the most popular woman in those movies. I don't want to say Bollywood. I don't know how else to say it. But so there's a woman who does that. Oh my God, she's really good. And the thing that is great is they all sing and dance. So that is part of it.
And it's like complicated. It's not like little. It's like really a lot of choreography, and it's like pretty
Hundreds
athletic. Yeah.
of people dancing at a time.
Do you think Italians get upset or insulted when they say spaghetti westerns?
Dude, they don't have those anymore, so it doesn't matter.
Actually, no, they still film a lot of movies in
Do
Italy.
they?
I believe so.
I
yeah,
don't know, man.
Not a lot, but I mean, a lot of westerns are filmed in
this is like a
New
genre.
Zealand.
Yeah.
Australia.
Didn't they film The Good, the Bad, the Ugly in Italy?
Yeah, that's
That's
a spaghetti western. Ted.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you think it's in the somewhere in the United States, but it was actually filmed in Italy.
What did he do yesterday?
What are you talking about right
Oh,
now?
Teddy.
The Good, the Bad, the Ugly.
Yeah, I'm talking about spaghetti westerns.
Yeah,
that's what it
that
is.
a
All
spaghetti
the
western.
movies made in Italy,
Oh,
like The
Jesus.
Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Fistful of Dollars.
Oh,
So you, Mark.
Yes, that's one of them.
You heard when Teddy came over. So everybody came over for the football games, and Teddy comes over and he sits down and he goes, "Hey, is there a game on?"
No, he didn't.
Yeah, you didn't hear that? I'm like, Ted, are you kidding me? We're here for a football game. And he goes, I guess. He goes, ready? He goes, college or pro? I'm like, why are you at my house? What thing do you think we're gonna do at my house all day today?
you know, I lost track because it's Monday. You know, it's Monday. It's New Year's Day. I can't remember. You know, is it like Thanksgiving where the pros play? I lost track of college football, but obviously it's the college football. Oh, and like I predicted, Washington versus Michigan.
I told you.
I'm going to have to go with Washington. Right?
This is the first time Ted's been right all year.
Yeah. Well, no, he just says a lot of shit. He's got to be right sometimes. He's
The
absolutely.
year
gotta
is
be
young,
right.
though, is my point.
Oh yeah, and you ready for this? So after our last show, when we switched roles, okay, of course, what happens is everybody sends stuff in, and they hate that I did Ted's tips.
I hated it too.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well,
You know what?
it's like you urinated on a sacred burial ground.
Right.
But Ted, you know what ended up happening?
Yeah.
You ended up doing the tip anyway. I listened to the show.
Yeah, I know. you
So
did.
it started, and then all of a sudden, it was almost like normal.
Huh.
You just Matt started talking about the tip, and he ended a sentence, and you picked it up and you ran, and it became Ted's tip.
No,
Yeah.
okay.
It was amazing.
You just help. Do you like in your regular life? Do you see like people walking down the street like, ma'am, I overheard you discussing this, and I'd like to help. Do you do that?
It crosses my mind sometimes, but it's like asking for advice. You know, you don't give advice unless you're asked for it. Except on the golf course, that's when I feel the
No.
need to give as much advice as
No,
possible.
you never do.
What did our-
Matt's created a monster.
Yeah, he does. I bet he just interrupts people. Like he goes to
He was
Starbucks.
never like this before.
No, he's much more outgoing. You just walk into Starbucks and be like, "Ma'am, I noticed you were talking about how to better parent your child. Can I give you some advice?" Yeah. What do you know about poison?
Does he become like Cliff Clavin?
Cliffy. Oh yeah, you know everything about everything.
Oh, was that Cliff Clavin? That was
Yeah.
his role? Yeah. So
From Cheers,
Cheers,
yeah.
yeah.
The postman from
So,
Cheers.
yeah, so he doesn't know why he's sitting at my house, yet he probably helped some woman who was having like marital trouble.
Right.
Yeah, like the last couple days.
He's an expert in marriage.
Speaking of which, there's going to be a tip coming up that kind of not really marriage per se, but could potentially lead to marriage, depending
Or potentially not if it's done wrong.
depending on the answer,
The tip.
depending if this gentleman follows my advice or not,
Yeah. Okay, so let me get a couple of updates.
or suggestion, I should say.
Is that a promise or a threat, Ted?
Yeah, no shit.
Don't threaten our listeners, buddy.
Hey,
I can go one of two ways.
We
pal.
already lost one.
So hey, sometimes you got to lose a few good men along the way.
Did you hear about that? Matt
No.
said that we lost a listener because you bashed dinner with Andre.
Yeah.
I never
So we
said
lost one listener.
I never
And
said it was
somebody's
a-
two.
Two people will never listen again because you bashed my dinner.
I
with
never
Andre.
I never said it was a bad movie. I just said it induces heavy duty relaxation that could lead to uncontrollable sleeping and
Are
snoring.
you seriously?
Coma.
You just said you never said it was a bad movie.
Well, obviously, it won the Academy Award, so somebody thought it was. A
It
good
did not
movie.
win an Academy Award. Stop saying that. It did not win an Academy Award.
Did it win any type of award? I thought it won.
It got like
was
not an
nominated.
Oscar. No, I don't know if it was
Well,
nominated.
Academy Award and an Oscar are the exact same thing, Ted.
Well,
Sorry,
it
Mark.
did not win an Oscar.
All right, so let me do some updates here. We're not going to get back into my dinner with Andre. Cristo from Valencia, Spain. He wants to know if Silvio Claus is dead. Does he finally get off the crappy gift list?
Wait, did he die?
In the in the thing, yeah, he did. Yeah. But it's magic, so
I
he
don't
could
even
come back to
remember that.
life.
Like Jason.
Yeah, he I think
Friday
when,
the 13th.
I think when Ted asked at some point when Ted asked who's driving this, who's driving the pickup, Silvio dropped dead. If I remember the script that was written. Angie from L.A. wants to know if we'll be taking on the 3 little idiot pigs or the 3 idiot men instead of the 3 wise men next Christmas.
Oh, good suggestion. Let's.
I thought those were
make some notes
excellent.
I think we're going to redo Steamboat Mickey.
We can do whatever we want. It's starting today.
Yeah.
We could make 3 idiots porn with Steamboat Mickey.
Why does it
and
always
his
have
big
to be
old
porn
dicky.
with him? Everything. As soon as 100 years is up, he wants to make porn out of everything.
Well, that's what they want to do with
When
Disney
I got
films.
Mickey Mouse banging Winnie the Pooh, and we're making $1 million bucks.
You're crazy, dude.
Well,
What?
isn't that what they do when every Disney patent expires? It turns into like a cocaine-fueled movie.
Yeah.
slasher
Can you
film.
imagine what's going to happen? I mean, there's a bunch of things that have expired, gone into public domain. So yeah, it's going to get.
Has anybody
real
thought of
ugly.
just taking that and redoing it and making it like way better? Like rip the whole thing off but make it better instead of making a crazy asinine parody like
Well, I'm
that-
sure somebody
the Pooh
will.
thing?
I'm sure. I mean, but is Mickey Mouse a thing still? I mean, you'd have to really. Boy, if you got close to that, Disney would hose you in a heartbeat,
Oh,
man.
yeah,
You'd
if
have to be
you-
real careful.
Yeah, you actually they sued. I think
Oh, it
Disney or
has to
some
be, yeah, it has to be the Steamboat
some
version.
Has to be a
so,
Steamboat
so
version.
some like powerful entity, kind of like Disney. I guess this one single woman who makes like $25,000 a year. I guess they sued her for like $50 million because she downloaded or she did something to kind of infringe on them, and they came after her like with like $1 million lawyer team.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
they came after her hard.
Yeah, they
There
are.
is no
Yeah.
bigger
Yeah.
like these corporations like Disney, they'll defend their property to no end. They have to. That's all they have.
Yeah.
Well,
They
yeah.
got the reputation. Yeah.
proprietary rights of
Yeah.
their characters and
Yeah,
everything.
sure.
There's no. I mean, like you said, they went after a nobody.
Yeah.
Like heavy hitters, right?
Heavy hitters.
They will never. They'll go after anybody.
Yeah, they don't want anything
No, they-
to infringe on that because I mean,
And you know what it does? If they don't, it sets a precedent.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Like with Kleenex let that go like 30, 40 years ago. Now we all call tissue Kleenex.
Yeah, we do.
That's a
Isn't that weird?
trademark.
It is.
So technically, when you talk about it, not in public, but I mean like us, but I mean like in TVs and movies, when you say Kleenex, it better be a Kleenex. If not, they could sue. But they can't anymore because the court system will not allow it. They allowed a precedent over the years of people just using the name without them reacting,
Yeah.
so it's over with. But there's other companies that, I mean, like USG, United States Gypsum, they'll protect the sheetrock.
Yeah.
That's protected. Like you can't go on a TV show and say sheetrock unless it says USG
Okay,
on it.
hold on a second. What TV show? Does
All the
anybody
remodeling
say
shows.
sheetrock?
I'll tell you the one with
Home Improvement.
no, the one with the Gaines, the biggest fucking show on TV.
Oh, that Chip and Joanna. I don't
Yeah,
even watch
Chip
it.
and
Like,
Joanna
they're,
Gaines.
They're
So
the
they get-
home
they get-
rehabbers, right? They're the rehabbers.
Yeah, they get letters like every week because he's the biggest. She points to, like a drywall and says, "Oh, like this piece of sheetrock." She can't say that.
But you're saying she does.
She does all the time, and they get letters of cease and desist.
Yeah, well, I would just sue them. They have all the money in the world. I mean, they own most of Waco, Texas. Not that that's a big fucking deal. I mean, it's Waco, Texas. We could buy a much better town, I think. I feel like we could buy a much better
Well,
town.
that's where David Koresh was headquartered before his
Wacko
before
from Waco.
his untimely demise at the hands of
Did
the
they redo that house
U.S.
too?
government.
Did they redo that church?
Yeah, I think that needed a complete rehab.
No,
my
they're trying to
God.
do everything they can to forget about that little week.
Would that be the
Yeah.
greatest?
Wasn't that like a week-long
It
thing?
was like a week-long thing.
That was like
I
a
think.
month. I mean, that was a lot. And it turned out to be like they had to firebomb him. I mean, basically, he
That
wouldn't
was-
leave. Yeah,
it's a great documentary because you just hear about it. It's just
Yeah.
another one of those things you just hear about, you don't do. It's a great documentary, man. It was like every fuck up you could possibly make, they did.
Wacko from Waco.
Yeah.
So actually, what we should do, we should try to get a guru. I mean, I'm talking about like a cult leader on this show
trying-
sometime.
tell-
Yeah. So like Jim Jones, obviously Guyana, which was like the biggest. So that was the biggest quote unquote mass suicide in U.S. history. So 934 people. I'm sure most of them against their will drank poison-laced Kool-Aid at the.
Can I say there might be a bigger one this weekend if the Bears beat the Packers? And the Packers fans, they don't make the playoffs.
The Kroll's is going to burn to the ground in Green Bay.
Actually, I think that's the one game I'm going to root for the Bears, just because just to.
Oh, I can't wait.
Just to stick it in their boots.
yeah.
I'm going to make. It's going to be the biggest game of the year.
It is the biggest game. It's like
Is that
the
a home
Super-
game?
It's like the Super Bowl.
No, it's in Green Bay.
It's like the Super Bowl for the Bears.
It's the
I mean,
biggest rivalry.
Yeah, because they ain't going to make the playoffs again and again and again.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
to knock them out,
Hold on.
equally as good as making.
Well,
the
I don't know if you
playoffs.
knew this, but I think the Bears coaches, their benchmark is like, have you beaten Green Bay? Like Lovie Smith had a winning record against Green Bay, but like that's actually part of their metric to keep your job in Chicago. Like, can you beat Green Bay? I know.
That's a stupid metric.
I know,
Win lots of games and go to the playoffs and win Super Bowls. That should be the metric.
They only want to win 2 a year. You mean?
Yeah, that's probably
Just
all they
beat
want.
Green
All right,
Bay.
so let me do one more. Jess from Houston, Texas, wants to know why we say, because we had the swearing expert on, pardon my French when we swear, and then he or she, I don't know, it's just Jess, gave an example such as, Matt, you suck balls, pardon my French. Yeah.
That's like saying with all due respect. So that's like just another way of saying with all due respect. So you could say something inflammatory, but as long as you qualify it with pardon my French.
Yeah, but I guess
I read something. I knew the answer to that question, Jess, but I forgot, and I'm not going to look it up.
Oh, no,
right
I looked
now.
it up.
Oh, you did? Okay.
In the late 1800s, the English used it as a dig to the French.
Okay.
Like nobody spoke French, and it was
Sure,
not
they
an
were they were
important
like
thing.
heathens or yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty wild. All right, so let's get this thing rolling here. Hey, everybody, my name is Matt, and this is the Real Three Idiots podcast. Today is National Buffet Day. So go out and eat until you can't eat anymore. Yeah.
Golden Corral.
They have, oh, God, that food is so,
Ponderosa.
so
No, that's
food is
not
so
a buffet.
gross.
No, they do have a.
They don't?
No,
It's not?
Is it?
no, but they do have a
Those
big
Salad bar?
Salad bar. Yeah.
Yeah, with pudding. Like, right?
It's a big salad bar.
And a chocolate fountain.
Yeah, chocolate. Yeah, it's all the things you put on salad.
Yeah.
Butterscotch, nibbles, all that kind of shit. All right, with me as always is the king of wings, Mark.
Oh, I like
Best
that.
wings I've ever had.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Best
we're good.
yesterday. Best wings I've ever had.
They were
I
great.
brought smoked wings to Matt's football party.
Yeah, and a man who can do no wrong, Teddy.
Happy New Year. It's 1993. I'm sorry, 1994. We'll get it right. I'm just kidding.
It's 2004, Ted. Do you not know that?
No, 2024.
Oh, I got it wrong too.
Yeah.
It's 2024.
Am I the only sane person in this room right now?
I don't know. I'm drinking water, so everything is weird to
We
me.
like living in the past.
Hold on. Let me.
Oh my God, you're shaking drinking that water.
Dude, I'm trying to decide if I want to go grab a beer out of the fridge. I really
Me
am.
too.
I if you get one, get me one of those American blonde ones.
Okay.
Everything in there is warm, so don't. I just put it.
What?
In there. It was a rough day, man. I had
Where,
to go to.
where was it?
I had to go to
Outside?
work. No, I brought it in. I didn't want to freeze. Yeah, I had got a job, and today was my first day of work.
Wow.
So I'm a little tired. I worked for 3 hours.
Yeah, it's
The
exhausting.
entire 3 hours sitting on a Zoom
You
meeting.
could use a beer.
Ted, well,
Even if it's warm.
Ted,
I'm going to wait. You know what? I'm going to do it first. This might be the first entire show, but I think I'm just going to wait till we go.
you know what,
All
Ted?
right.
You know what the key to him keeping a job is?
Going to work.
Not talking about the podcast at work.
Oh no, I'm never. No. There's no discussion about that.
There's boundaries.
Yes.
Yeah, there's
Lots of
no
boundaries.
discussion about that at all.
Yeah.
No, thank you. All right, let's get to Teddy's tip, our sponsor. Do you have a kick-ass song, Mark?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's more like it.
All right. Here's the sponsor. Oh, there it is. Okay. You probably saw New Mexico A&M beat Michigan Teachers College in the inaugural Pearson Salve for Anal Fissures Bowl. Well, Pearson Salve for Anal Fissures is proud to piggyback their exposure from the Pearson Salve for Anal Fissures Bowl to announce their newest product, Pearson Salve for Anal Warts. Who else would you trust with your anal warts than the company you trust with your anal fissures? Pearson Salve for Anal Fissures and the new Pearson Salve for Anal Warts. Don't worry, Pearson's has your backside.
We get a lot of anal wart sponsors.
I mean,
It's
there's
not the first one.
no. I think there's actually two companies that kind of have the monopoly on anal warts and anal wart cream.
Preparation
So-
H?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, they're out. They're out.
Oh.
No, I thought we had a sponsor that
Tux.
gave you anal warts.
Tux medicated
Do
pants.
we have?
Tux medicated, get some anal warts.
There's a company out
Or
there
you
that
snort.
gives you anal warts.
That's Pearson's. Yeah, Pearson's has the cream to
it's
give
the same
it,
company.
take it
Yeah,
away.
same
yeah.
company. Yeah. Genius.
Yeah, it is pretty good. All right, so sing it away, my friend.
Just a good old tip. Ted's never meaning no harm. Beats all you never saw. Been in trouble with in-laws since the day he was born. Straightening the listeners. Yeah. Flattening the ratings. Someday the weed might get him, but the crown never will. Tipping his way, the only way he knows how. Yeah. That's just a little bit more than the show will allow. Tipping his way, the only way he knows how. And that's now time for him to tip out loud.
Oh man, I like that. I
Little
like that.
Waylon Jennings, baby.
Oh
Yeah, that's right.
man,
Dukes of Hazzard theme song.
that is. Oh,
Waylon's one of my favorites. Hey, while we're on the topic of like music, Spotify, did you know that they do a year-end wrap?
Yeah.
WRAP. Did you get something about the show because we're on that platform, right?
Yeah.
So it's like every statistic you can think of. Like how many people we reached, listeners, feedback, all that kind of stuff. So as a subscriber to Spotify, you also get a wrap.
Yeah.
So I clicked on it, and it's unbelievable.
I didn't get mine,
It
but
tells
last
you like
year,
how many songs you listen
Yeah.
to and what days you listen to them the most, what day you listen to the most songs on, what genre, breaks down the genres. It's unbelievable. So I learned stuff about me that I didn't know because it tells you everything. And obviously,
Who are you?
I know that's what I said. Who
learned
are you?
Something about me I didn't know.
So, and it tells you like if you're in like the top 1% of all listeners that listen to this artist or that song, right?
Right.
So I'm in a 0.5% of all the listeners in the world with Spotify. It's only Spotify. Apple Music's big, stuff like that. But on Spotify's platform, I'm in 0.5% of, guess which artist?
Waylon Jennings.
No, the Beastie Boys.
The Beastie Boys.
I listen to the Beastie Boys more than like 95.5% of the entire world on Spotify.
That's funny.
So I'll give you ready. At the end of 2003, we got the rap, and Jack told me I was in the top 1% of all.
2023, man.
2023. Sorry, what did I say?
2003. I
Holy
mean, you're
shit.
20 years back right now, brother.
Oh my God!
You're going to
okay.
be like my movie mention today.
Oh my God! So in last year, when it was wrapped, I was in the top 1% of all the people who listen to Bob Marley.
Yeah, because you got that rolling during golf that whole year. That whole year you're on a reggae trip.
Oh man, I still love it, but yeah, it's man, I love reggae.
But my thing is a little misleading, except for the Beastie Boy thing, because I'll listen to a song that I'm going to parody over and over and over and over again, right? To get it down.
Get it in your head.
So
yeah.
it kind of skews the numbers for just some of my songs. But I've never done a Beastie Boy song, so I know I listen to them a lot. Paul's Boutique is like
Yeah,
my favorite album.
They
of
were
all
kind of
time.
cutting edge back in the day because they were,
Yeah, their second album is my favorite album, probably my top three.
Is that Brass Monkey?
No,
Funky Monkey?
no, that was Licensed to Ill. This is you
know
Paul's
what?
Boutique.
I just hit my rap. Quinn XLC, Quinn 93 or what? I don't know what his XLC, whatever his thing is. Jack got me into this band. This guy, he's fantastic.
Really?
And yeah. So now that's my.
It also tells you
oh man.
It also tells you who, like what town in the United States is most like you or almost identical to you as far as the artists and songs you listen to the most. And I was in somewhere in Nebraska or something.
Really?
There's somebody in Nebraska that listens to the same kind of shit that I listen to.
Well,
Yeah,
mine
it'll
was
tell you that.
mine says hold on, a mental institution
Yeah,
in
sure.
Denver, Colorado. Yeah, they pinned it down room 27. Okay. All right, let's get to Teddy's tip here before he gets too drunk. Ted, I'm stuck
Too
and
late.
I need your I'm stuck and I need your help. It's my girlfriend's birthday coming up and she expects something nice. Problem is, I need to fix my car so I can get to work. I can't do both. I'm kind of screwed if I don't fix my car. And I'm in big trouble if I don't get her something nice. You got to help. Terrence, 25, Boston, Massachusetts.
Hey, Terrence, how you doing? Happy New Year. Shout out to Boston. Love the town, even though I've only been there one time. So-
Love the chowder.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the socks.
Actually, I didn't detect that. I mean, there was some accent, but that's almost like a Rhode Island accent.
Did you ever see my Ted Kennedy imitation? Freshen this up.
Is that before or after Chappaquiddick?
Yeah.
That's the joke. Freshen this up.
Where's my son's head? Where's the rest of my son's
I'm stealing
head?
that from Kevin Matthews. He used to do that. That was his
did he?
Ted Kennedy. Yeah.
That guy killed his presidential aspirations after that one. Yeah.
An empty glass with ice in it. Freshen this up.
Yeah, he did he die? I mean, he basically never resigned. I mean, he was like one of the longest serving senators, right? or whatever.
We're not doing politics.
Okay, I forget. Okay,
Help
anyway.
Terrence.
Terrence. Okay, anyway.
T-Rod.
Terrence has
Yes.
girlfriend issues.
Yep. Okay, so Terrence, here's what I would do. So the choice is, girlfriend's birthday's coming up. You want to get her a real nice gift. You need to fix your car to go to work. Obviously, the simple answer is yes. Fix your car so you can go to work, because without going to work, you can't afford anything. Much a gift, much less. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. And Terrence, now you're never going to get laid. Have fun.
Happy
New Year.
But this is actually fortuitous that this happened.
Yeah, but he's not got no girlfriend.
But this is actually a good test, because in real life, when the test comes, the teacher doesn't announce it. So this is actually a good test for both of you. So this is in a way, this little crossroads here is to show you who she really is. So what you're going to do is just be honest. Just say, hey, you know what? I don't know how long you've been dating her. I don't know how serious it is, but obviously it sounds like you have a lot of affection for her because you want to buy her a nice gift. Just say, honey, whatever her name is. Unfortunately, at this point in time, due to circumstances, my car is broken down. I need to get it fixed. It's obviously a priority. Money's a little bit tight, so I did want to get you something really nice for your birthday, but can we just defer that to later? And obviously fix your car first. That's the tip.
Wait, can we play? Can I be the girlfriend?
No, not yet.
Terrence, we're broken up. Goodbye.
But okay, if that happens, Terrence, she did you a favor, because you know why? Because if she's cool, she'll completely understand. And honestly, if she's truly into you and want to spend time with you, it's not about the gift. And plus, you don't need to give a gift on someone's birthday. You can give a gift anytime. That being said, if she gives you a real negative reaction, she's kind of showed you some major red flags. So let's just say you get through this episode where she doesn't break up with you, but you're on a short leash now and she gives you a guilt trip about getting the gift. Here's what's going to happen to you about 10 years from now or 5 years from now. I guarantee it. You'll probably end up marrying her, probably have a couple of kids with her, and then something will flare up in the future. And it's going to, and so what you do now, how she reacts to the situation, this could be the difference between a 20-year plus successful marriage or 15 years worth of child support payments when you divorce her about 3 years into your marriage. And trust me, you'll be replaced in about 10 seconds, to your chagrin. And then when you make those child support payments every month, I guarantee you they're going to go to her new boyfriend, who's probably going to have a name similar to yours, and he'll probably be sort of like Terrence. He'll be like Bizarro Terrence, right? Like Bizarro World. His name will be Terry or something like that.
Ted, you are bumming me out, man.
Terrence, listen to me. This might be the most important thing you hear for the new year. Might be most important advice of your life. If she reacts negative to this, and like I said, this is a nothing burger. I mean, this is just part of everyday life. If she can't overcome this, I guarantee you, when the shit hits the fan, she's gonna fold. So again, if this is the girl for you, if she gives you a negative reaction, I would just say, when a girl dumps you, this is the way you look at it. Okay, she just did you a favor. She basically gave you permission to meet a better version of her in the future. So that's the way you should look at it if she breaks up with you.
Is this like that? What's that movie where the guy tells the kid he's going on a date with the chick, and if she doesn't lean over and unlock the door for you, that she's no good? It was some.
Oh, was it?
I vaguely
wasn't
recall that. I don't remember that.
Say anything?
No. It's some gangster movie set in New York in the '60s or something. The kids.
I vaguely recall.
Yeah,
that.
the kid's going on dates, and if she doesn't if she doesn't lean over and open the door for
you,
you
got the movie. You got the wrong movie.
I know. It's with Robert De Niro and his kid. Robert De Niro's like a bus driver.
It's not.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I guarantee it.
That's a Bronx Tale.
It's in the Bronx Tale. That's it.
Okay.
Is it?
Yeah, it's it. Wait, I went from no, I'm wrong to okay.
Okay, I'm maybe
Wow.
you're right. So Ted, I agree with you, but I also disagree with you.
Okay.
No, because I don't think you should explain it like you just did. Like I wouldn't say, "Honey, you don't downplay the gift you gave her by saying next time it'll be better."
No, he can't give her the gift because he has to fix his car. So
well,
we just
can
say,
get her something,
or you could just say, "I had something special."
That's what
planned.
he's saying. That's that's what I'm saying. I disagree with. Fuck her. You get her what you can afford.
That is a good gift. Oh, I'm sorry. That was a gift.
Yeah. You give her a gift
gift.
you can afford. That you can afford at that time.
At that time.
On your budget with your priorities in order.
Right.
And if she can't accept that, then what are you going to do? Set her up? I mean, if she can't accept that, then that's her problem.
No, you would just say basically you don't have to like
No,
say
don't make a promise to improve on that gift.
no,
Couldn't
don't
he-
say that. Don't say
couldn't
that.
he steal something?
No, but just say I had.
my
I
God,
just say, here's
stop.
what you do. I had something special planned for your birthday. Unfortunately, due to circumstances, I need to get my car fixed, which is a priority since I need it to work. I'll make it up to you at a later date,
No, I know.
and just leave it at
No,
that.
I heard what you
Yeah.
said.
And if she can't-
I agree with
If
you.
she can't handle it,
Yeah.
you know, or it's real. Like I said, there's two things that could happen. It's negative enough where she breaks up with him, which I said is a blessing in disguise. Or
Yep.
the worst case scenario would be it's negative that kind of stays in her head, and she stays with him, but there's always that little level of resentment, which I guarantee you will metastasize at some point down the road and come back to bite him big time.
Okay, could I get an alternate thing? I've got a story right here
Sure.
that could be Terrence's life in the future.
I
Okay,
think I know this.
Good luck to you, Terrence.
It's a guy I used to work with.
in Boston,
Terrence Roberts. We call him T-Rod.
T-Rod from
T-Rob,
and
I'm
he,
sorry.
T-Rob, and he moved to Boston, and he's 25. He's half your age.
He is
you
half
work,
my
you
age.
worked with him what when
Maybe
he
it's
was
his
8?
cousin from Chicago.
Yeah. What did he do? I mean,
Sounds like
were you running a dice game and he ran and got the dice and handed it back
Yeah,
to
no,
you?
the T-Rob I know
Is
would
this
stand.
is this
He
grooming?
wouldn't bend for this.
Yeah, he wouldn't have stood for that. He'd have dumped her right away. Okay,
He had
so
a nice car.
So, did you guys hear about this story from the? Yeah, well, he had to get it fixed. From the University of Wisconsin lacrosse.
No.
Okay, college stories are tough, right? The chancellor at the University of
it's
Wisconsin
chancellor.
lacrosse. Okay, he was fired the other day because he and his wife were doing food porn.
Oh, now, what might that be?
Okay, so this is what I thought, but I'm going to tell you what Jack thought first. Okay, so he tells me about this story, and I go, yeah, okay. So this is what he thought they did when they said food porn.
Like a Costanza thing?
Well, he thought that they were taking the different vegetables and food and stuff and putting it inside them and then making food out of it and eating it. He thought they were literally...
Who thought that?
My son.
Oh, my
This is-
God.
I know. How screwed up is
No,
that?
no, actually, here's what I think. Like, if you said food porn to me, I would think they're putting food on each other's naked bodies and then eating the food off each other's bodies as if it was a plate. That's my definition.
I mean, that
of food porn.
wasn't too far off.
That seems
But
like
Jack, so Jack thought that they were like, he goes this is
Well,
what
you
he says.
said,
You
yeah.
ready? This is what he says. I go. What do you mean? He goes, like take a tomato and stick it up their ass, and then they make they make soup out of it.
So it's like,
I'm like, what the fuck are you? What have I done wrong?
Yeah.
What have I done
is
wrong?
that like
Tomato ass
is that like Kramer and Seinfeld when he goes, I made this meal while I bathed and
yeah.
So what is it?
Okay, so this is what they were actually doing. They were not fucking the fruits and vegetables. Okay.
Is it like what we call porn in my family? Like when
No, no,
someone's
no,
watching
no, no,
something
no,
they
they
enjoy,
make- no,
they're
no.
indulging in something. We call like my
Not at
brother-in-law watches train porn.
Yeah.
We're like,
No.
he's watching his movies, his things on trains.
No, it's not
Construction
that.
porn.
So what they did is, so this is a chancellor of the college. It's a small Wisconsin college. Him and his wife would make food
Yeah.
with a porn star, and then this is all part of the whole thing. Like the hour long, like the first 20 minutes was making food, and then the last 40 minutes was having sex.
Wow.
Yeah, and they were just banging each other.
Oh my
like a
God. so it's
threesome?
like
Yeah,
it's
all
like-
sorts of crazy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so like having Linda Lovelace in your kitchen,
Right. And first you make a grilled cheese.
Yeah.
And then
then she deep throats it.
Yeah.
among other things. All right.
So this is like they're kind of
This is
taking.
real.
This is like from like live from Daryl's house,
Yes.
where he invites professional musicians over. They make music
And then they make love.
and then they make love, but they don't make love. They just eat dinner together. But this
Like,
is
this is different.
because it's a porn star.
Yeah. They're
They
actually
have to instead of
yeah.
making, they have
Yeah.
to have sex with them.
And
Yeah.
they were doing it for a long time.
Wow.
And someone
And it never dawned on them that this could potentially.
Well, it was on.
Be-
what was it like an OnlyFans?
I think it was an
thing?
OnlyFans
So
thing.
it didn't dawn on them that this is conduct that could potentially be detrimental to the reputation of the school that he's the
Does
leader
it say,
of.
Does it say
Well,
how they
I-
got busted?
Somebody saw it and turned him in.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. But here's the thing.
No shit.
Hold on a second. He had the choice, ready, to quit and be the chancellor still or do this, and he was making way more money doing the porn.
Yeah.
So he quit.
I've
And
actually.
he's just literally
technically,
doing food porn.
Okay, they
I,
gave
but
an
I've heard,
ultimatum.
but I have heard about
Yeah.
like regular people like teachers, nurses that they were found out they had like an OnlyFans account, and then they get fired from the regular job. But then it turned out they're making like 10 times more at their OnlyFans job. So did they really
I don't even understand.
miss
that.
out on something? You know,
There's-
so
Here's the
Everyone's a
thing that gets me.
whore. Everyone's a whore now.
But there's so
Everybody
much-
is selling.
a horse?
Yeah, they're selling
I mean,
themselves.
honest to God, there's nobody has any self-respect. Like, you
don't
know how I'm
think
going to make
so.
money? I mean, we could all do it, right?
Do you ever
Anybody?
see-
I mean, listen. There's a platform for everybody.
Oh yeah.
I mean, anybody could get on that and do something, and somebody would pay money to watch it.
So two things I saw on Instagram just in the last week It's the girl who sits and watches TV with a tight shirt on and the biggest nipples I've ever seen. And she doesn't do anything. Yeah. She literally just sits there with these giant cans and her nipples sticking out. That's her
you
gig.
Subscribe to it to watch
I
it.
look it up. She's got 125,000 followers. And then the chick with the feet. That was the one.
Well, there are people with foot fetishes.
It's just her feet.
I know, but you pay. I mean, there's this guy I know. He watches these videos all the time. It's not X-rated. It's not.
It's just feet.
Not the feet one. Oh. There's
like
a
softcore porn, like fetish. Like fetish
she's
porn.
like Matt said, has a real like big breast.
Yeah,
it's just her cooking.
Yeah,
I've seen. Oh, there tons of people do that.
It's just basically. You see her head and her tits while she's preparing the food. It's not about the food. It's about what.
There's like fetishes with like women dressed
it's
like
voyeurism.
She's like a she's
really
like a maid,
weird.
like the housekeeper, but she's real sexy, and that she's just cleaning, and that's like I said, porn is a subjective thing, so it doesn't have to be hardcore penetration. It could just be something like almost like very subtle, right? Where it's like,
but the weirdest thing is,
you know?
if you just look at it and you know, I gotta do it because I just want to see the comments. It's all the same thing. I'm in Texas. You're beautiful. Do you want to get together? I'm like, first of all, number one, guys, she's not interested in you. Okay, even though no
matter what she says,
no matter what she says, you are never going to meet this girl. You're never going to really find out where she's from. And if she tells you she's from Mississippi, or if she tells you she's from Colorado, she's lying. Okay, I don't understand it. And just 5 minutes. Just hundreds of comments. You're beautiful. I love you.
It's like the construction worker whistling to the pretty lady walking by. Except it's just in the comment form. Has that ever worked in the history of ever in real life?
Yeah. How many times has she just run up and just jumped on him?
Construction worker whistles at the chick. Goes, "Hey, you look really hot." She turns around. She goes, "There's my husband.
Thank you.
There's my future husband."
Let me tell you how here's
there
how,
he is.
Here's how screwed up this is. So we have a platform called OnlyFans, where average people can sell themselves, like show them doing whatever
they can do anything straight
they're
hardcore
doing, right.
sex to,
and people pay for that, right?
Oh yeah.
Sure.
And we have like artists, like musicians now, that can't make any money off their music because nobody will pay for it. So there's a platform where you have to pay to see it, and then you got platforms like Spotify now pays the artist. I understand that, but a few years ago, and even now, they're not making the money they used to make. Artists, you come out with an album, everyone can listen to it for free automatically.
Yeah, but do you even come out with a full album anymore?
Yeah, everyone does for the most part. I mean,
do they really? I have
sure,
never.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to a full album of anything.
I still buy vinyl. I buy vinyl. I bought Foo Fighters' last 2 albums. Yeah.
But
wait, the Foo Fighters are still around?
Yeah.
But it's like but that
they
goes
fought
back.
So many Foo, I can't believe there's any left.
That goes back to the psychology,
That's
like what's important to people. So something as benign as an attractive woman with a big bosom watching TV is actually more enticing to some people than some artist who's busting his ass, turning out probably decent music who doesn't make a dime. So it's actually chalk it up to the life's unfair category, so to speak.
Yeah, I know. I mean, seriously, there are talented musicians out there that are making less money than probably the average hot chick or guy on OnlyFans because people are willing to pay for that, but they won't pay for their album or their music.
Yeah. I mean, look at Scott Sigler. For free. Scott Sigler was giving away all this stuff at the beginning before he finally made money. So maybe there's a certain level that you have to give it away before it becomes important and people want it.
So I saw a movie a long time ago, just real quick. Ironically, Liam Neeson was in it. Yeah, and no one got no one got kidnapped. By the way,
what?
No one got kidnapped. So anyway,
but who did he beat up?
So he was.
So
here's what happened. So I can't remember the name of the movie, but I think it was like a short story within another movie. But long story short, so he's like in the 17th century. It's a hard scrabble life. He's got a guy who's disabled, like he has no legs. So he takes this guy in his
Lieutenant Dan?
Yeah. So in his like horse-drawn buggy, and he goes from town to town. And this guy, he sets up like a little makeshift tent or like a screen, and this guy just basically reads like Shakespeare. He's like really well spoken. And then the people gather, and they might throw
what? I've seen.
They might throw like a coin in there, but it's a very tough existence. And then he sees this other guy who's got a chicken, and the chicken could just count it, can somehow count how many marbles. It has some trick with it's just a chicken, and it was like the line was like out down the block and out the door for this chicken.
Did he kill the no leg guy and steal the chicken?
No, he bought the chicken. And he got rid of the no leg guy because he didn't need him anymore. Yeah,
you know what? That is so Liam Neeson, isn't it? Like he'd be like, he goes, "Oh, you're gonna be with me forever."
Yeah,
not unless I can find a really talented chicken.
And then that was the original OnlyFans, right? So the chicken made all the money over this silly thing over this guy. He's a pretty talented guy, but the chicken was bringing in the bucks, so this guy was expendable.
Oh man, that is what? Yeah. That is absolutely terrifying. When will we all be replaced by a chicken?
There's gonna be a rooster, a hen, and a chicken.
I'm gonna get some chickens pretty soon.
Are you really?
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, your neighbor's gonna love that. Living
Get a-
in it,
get a
living in
rooster.
They're not.
they
Get a rooster.
crow and stuff. We play
No,
golf at a place
roosters do.
every time we.
I'm not getting
yeah.
a rooster.
Oh.
Yeah, they're loud.
Chickens don't make any noise.
No, not really.
Or
They
hens,
do.
or hens. Yeah, but they're-
hens do.
But,
Yeah.
but roosters, yeah,
They're
that
really
one
loud.
time it was
yeah,
loud.
remember we were golfing. Every time I golf there, they're it's unbelievable. I would if I was their neighbor, I'd murder the chickens in a heartbeat or whatever. Whatever's making that noise. The rooster.
It depends on what kind of chickens you get.
I don't care what it is. If it's that loud, there's no way you can live in a city and have chickens.
Well, you can. My friend has chickens. He lives on fucking Austin.
What?
He's got 7
There's
chickens.
no rule in Chicago
you
that
can-
you can have.
No,
that
you
can't
can
have
keep
chickens.
No, you can keep chickens. Absolutely, yeah. Our neighbors across street from us had chickens.
I'd love to push it to see what animal you can't have.
There are you
Bobcat.
can't. There are some animals you cannot have, but there's a lot of There's a lot of animals you
You
can.
know, you could have a bobcat in Indiana.
Oh my God, we talked about
It's Indiana. You can have anything you want. Oh, and speaking
Except
of vegetables,
except edibles.
speaking of vegetables, because we talked about the Metamucil challenge and pooping.
Yeah, I've been. I told you.
Yeah.
What vegetable? What vegetable is the number one vegetable to help you poop?
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's basically the worst vegetable on the planet.
Brussels sprouts.
Eggplant?
It's got to be a
like
green.
eggplant.
It's got to be.
Yeah,
is it
it's some
kale.
Green peas.
Green peas.
No, I never would have guessed that.
Like string beans or green like
it says
peas?
green peas. That was this the pea.
Oh, I love peas. man.
Actually, you know
Oh,
what
I
else?
hate
You know,
peas.
what helps you poop like instantly? Black coffee or lemon water.
No, I drink a lot of black coffee.
Lemon water.
No, I crap like a yeah.
You guys didn't start taking them Metamucil. I know we weren't. You weren't.
No,
gonna do it.
well, it was going to be a challenge. I thought we were like going to down it dry or something. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do.
if you
They
actually,
also make it in gummy form too.
actually, if you really want to,
if I'm going to take a gummy, it's not going to.
if you want to, dude, if you want to empty yourself out, you know how you get. So
This isn't emptying yourself.
no, but
out.
I'm saying, like,
Metamucil
no,
doesn't
but listen.
do that.
Okay, so remember when you get a colonoscopy, you got to take that Omniprep. Now imagine just
Yeah,
taking
yeah.
that without getting the colonoscopy. If you just took that Omniprep for like one day, you would
Wait,
literally.
That was
Who
you would voluntarily do
Right,
that.
what
we
I'm
know
saying-
somebody that did that and didn't get the colonoscopy.
You.
No.
No, but I'm saying like if you just take the Omniprep without whatever's in
I don't
that,
know, I got mine.
that induces the most.
That was.
I
The
mean,
most,
it just empties you out in like a second.
Yeah.
You just got nothing but
Oh,
air
my
left
uncle
in there.
did it.
he
my-
took all that stuff and
He
then
took all the
didn't
stuff and didn't go.
He was probably light as
Why
a feather.
not?
Though.
Well, that's what we said. He found a reason not to go, and he didn't go, and he went through the whole process the
Well,
24
it
hours
wasn't because he had
before.
to sit on the toilet. Because once you do that, man, you're clean.
I
There's
know.
nothing left.
No.
You're clean as
yeah.
a whistle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
said that he didn't go because he was afraid he was gonna shit himself on the way there or something.
But there is no shit. It's gone.
It's
the whole
gone.
purpose.
That's
the
what we tried to
purpose-
explain to
That's
him.
the purpose of taking the Omniprep. You're literally
Aw.
empty.
So
out.
You have simple relatives.
Stop. He's
Sounds
a complicated man.
sounds like he's just full of shit.
It doesn't sound. He doesn't sound complicated at all. He sounds real simple. He sounds very simple. Okay, so, dude, one of the things I really like about this show is I get to find out a lot of things that I would never care about, think about, or anything. There's a town in the UK, Devon, and it's a tourist town. So during tourist time, whatever that time of the year is, the place is jammed. And everybody's busy and working hard and making money.
For what purpose?
I don't know. I think they're by the seaside somewhere.
Oh,
When it's not tourist time, they have a little problem that's been popping up for the last few years. They have gangs of children, like between 10 and 14, that are getting drunk and tearing the town up.
Was this like fucking Oliver Twist?
Yeah. Dude, is that crazy? There's literally, they are harassing the people that live
correct
there.
me if I'm wrong though.
They're
10 and 14-year-olds usually have parents not too far.
I have no idea. I
Right?
don't
Maybe
understand
it's like
this.
Lord of the Flies. They're just marauding bands of
Children of the corn.
feral
It's
children
like
just
children
running
of the
loose
corn.
like feral cats.
Maybe they ship in the adults just for tourist season, and then when it's off, the kids run the island
the
or
kids
whatever
are,
it is.
Listen, the kids are getting drunk. They're literally going around and they're beating up adults.
Wow.
They're shoplifting, just walking into shops and stealing shit. Yeah. Is that crazy?
and people are just powerless to stop them.
Wait, is that Chicago?
Devon, UK. Ready? This is what they're doing. They're mocking police, okay, which I guess is a new thing.
Oh, they're trying to
They're-
be American. They're trying to be
Yeah.
American.
They're beating up the adults. They don't do their homework and they're not eating their vegetables. Can you believe
In that
these
order.
little bastards?
Except for the green peas.
Except for the cream peas getting the shitting all over the place. But yeah, could you? I mean, I wonder. And so one of the things I read was there's a lot of little tourist towns in Europe that this is happening to because there's nothing for the kids to do.
Yeah, there's no.
Well, I'll go there. That sounds like a fun attraction.
Wouldn't that go there just
Get
to beat
beat up
the
by a
shit?
10-year-old?
No, wouldn't it be fun just to try to beat the shit out of like a 10-year-old?
Defend yourself against
Yeah.
like a couple of 10-year-olds.
Bring some Chinese stars and some nunchucks and just
Let's
just walk
do
around.
this.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a weird thing.
Yeah, that's a weird
Yeah,
thing.
and I guess the kids are drinking. And Mark, the first thing I thought of is,
Well,
do
don't
the
look
parents
at
not
me.
do anything?
Oh,
Do-
yeah.
I mean,
Where's
it's
the
like,
where are they getting the alcohol?
right. It's like where's little Timmy? He's outside. Well, go drag him back in. I can't. I went out there and his friends beat the shit out of me.
There has to be some explanation.
This is real. This is happening, man.
Wow.
They're bored. I guess there's no Wi-Fi, no nothing. I don't know how it works. I honestly don't know how it works. Is that kind of? I mean, it's kind of scary.
I know it's not supposed to work like that. I don't know how it works either, but it shouldn't work like that.
Yeah,
Sounds like they need some
Seems
iPads.
like it's not
They need some
working.
iPads and a
Whatever
Wi-Fi
it is,
connection to
whatever it
occupy the
is, it
time.
is not working.
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, I mean, I
Can't
don't,
get him some iPads.
Build a
Ted.
YMCA. Build a YMCA. Let them shoot some hoops or something.
do they have YMCA? They have to have something.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you? If they're right on the water, couldn't you just take them out and like baptize them for like 5 minutes?
Send him some coloring books.
How about rowing? How about rowing? Like
They're 14. Little kids don't. You were color. You think? I wonder how many little kids have ever used a coloring book.
I got a coloring book for Christmas.
You
We did a family white elephant thing, and my thing was an adult coloring book.
Was that your? Is that
It
your
was
uncle?
cuss
who-
words. It was all.
Yeah.
It was like cuss words and stuff.
Did you ever
It's
get a jigsaw
hilarious.
puzzle
What?
for
Yeah.
Christmas? A jigsaw, like a
an
1,000-piece
adult
jigsaw
coloring book.
puzzle.
You're kidding me, right?
No, I'm not. And it came with those crayon pencils.
Nice.
What?
Not crayon pencils. They're crayons, but it's like in a pencil. So it's not a pencil. It's actual Crayola, like wax crayon. And
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah.
You
could
ring it
you
out.
could ring it out, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of cool. Teddy, you served in the military. You in the Air Force.
Yeah.
Thank you.
right?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mark, are you afraid at some point that we could still get drafted?
Am I afraid?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, you're sure we could? I mean,
I'm a conscientious objector, man.
you object.
I'm like the dude.
You abide.
don't even get me started with
No,
that. I
Smokey.
watched.
Smokey was a conscientious objector.
Yeah, Smokey. That's right.
Yeah,
Man, Smokey's got problems.
Yeah, I do. I not had to, but I watched The Big Lebowski because next week we're having on Bill Green, the author of I'm a Lebowski, You're a Lebowski. So
Yeah,
I had
I'm
to
going get the
run
book
through
tomorrow.
the movie.
I'm
Yeah.
going to get the book
Yeah,
tomorrow.
I had to run through the
But
movie.
the book's
again.
not about the. I mean, the book's not about the movie, is it? It's just about the.
It's. I mean,
the
it's
character
about yeah,
lifestyle.
Yeah,
like
it's about the lifestyle.
Coen
Yeah,
brothers,
that kind of thing.
That guy.
But I saw this and I'm thinking, we could go to war at any time. I don't know if you guys saw this. Ron DeSantis, who was in the military, he did serve.
Okay.
I did something, right? He's kind of showing off his military experience. He wants to show he's a hard ass. So he has literally threatened another country.
Was it North Korea?
No, thank God it wasn't North
Because
Korea.
North Korea's threatening the hell out of everybody right now.
So he said he said this multiple times now.
Cuba.
I did not
He's
believe
going
it.
after his heritage.
Well,
Isn't
he said,
Cuban?
well, yeah, I don't know if he's Cuban. I do know he's gay, allegedly. But so he said if Florida was attacked with missiles by this country, that he would completely flatten them.
Right.
The Bahamas. He just threatened the Bahamas
That's
the
funny.
only missiles they
multiple
have
times,
are Roman candles.
and they're using them to light their.
And
yeah.
isn't the Bahamas a British colony?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So he.
what's like Turks and Caicao.
Yeah.
I think
not
it's
Aru-
owned by like Richard, like King Richard from Virgin Airlines.
No, Richard Branson.
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
he owns
Richard Branson owns the
yeah, I think he owns,
Caribbean.
he owns a whole
Yeah,
island
so-
by himself. Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio owns half of it or something.
Yeah, so he has gone out on a limb trying to work up like
He
his
said
military
he
presence
said that
multiple times now.
Bahamas.
Just recently, I think he said it 3 days ago. I think he said it on Friday. He was stumping in one of the cities, and that he said that he will totally destroy the Bahamas if they attack Florida with missiles. And this is what he said. He said the people of Fort Lauderdale would demand retribution if the Bahamas bombed the elderly folks and hillbillies in Florida.
Wouldn't it be great if he said Puerto Rico? And somebody had to say, sir, that's the United States.
Yeah, so now this what had to happen because he mentioned it so many times and he was so forceful about it. The federal government had to jump in and talk to the ambassador of the Bahamas and let him know that at no point are we planning to or will ever, and this is the word DeSantis used, flatten the Bahamas if they launch missiles at Florida. In fact, I think they kind of encouraged it.
They're more likely to get missiles sent to Florida from Sanibel Island than they are the Bahamas.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to come from like what's that that island in Texas?
San Padre.
San Padre.
They're going to come
Padre
from. If San Padre Island sends missiles this way, we're going to flatten them.
Well, I mean, everybody knows the Bahamas have a very potent military.
Yeah. That I've never heard of.
Yeah,
The ganja missiles.
Yeah, the guy. Yeah, they just and everybody's. But I was just
The
thinking,
Bahamas Air Force is very can be deployed at any
I'm
time.
fairly confident that
the Queen's
all
Queen's
it
Air
took
Force.
all it took was Ron DeSantis running for president to make sure that he will never be president. And then this was pretty funny. Somebody asked DeSantis if he accidentally got Hamas mixed up with Bahamas,
or
Yeah.
hummus.
and he said Hamas and the Bahamas, even though there's Hamas in the Bahamas, are not the same. They literally told him that.
He's so learned.
Yeah, and that's when he said that the people of Fort Lauderdale would demand retribution.
They still think James Madison's president from like the 1800s, right?
I mean, is that
1700. So he thought he was saying Bahamas and he was meaning Hamas.
I have no idea.
Hamas.
I have no idea what he thinks. I honestly don't. But he said Bahamas, like I said multiple times. He had to pick a country that obviously we can beat up, right? It's like if we went to that city in the UK and we started just beating up 10-year-olds just so we could do it. It's like, what are you doing? I'm just getting ahead of the problem.
I feel sorry for his mother.
I do,
man.
I honestly do, because at some point she had to go around bragging that her son was the governor of Florida, right? And people are just like, it's Florida. I mean,
at this point, you just got to be like, what
I think
the fuck,
he's
man?
maxed out. He's maxed out. He's
dropping out of the race. I know that.
Yeah.
Well, you know what this is? It's just a dry run. It's just a dry run for 2028. So it's going to be him versus Gavin Newsom. So they say Gavin Newsom's running like a shadow campaign against Joe Biden. That's why he debated DeSantis earlier this year. It's just practice for the next election cycle without going into politics.
Ted, I believe the two of them just threaten tiny little countries and beat up 10-year-olds on screen.
Montenegro?
Yeah. It's just such a weird thing to me, man. When every time
Vatican
I see that,
Vatican City?
I mean, and you guys heard Lauren Boebert's. She's moving or not moving, but she's going to be getting reelected in a different district now.
Yeah, she abandoned her district.
Yeah, she abandoned her
Because
district.
they're not going to reelect her, so she's got to go find one that will.
And she said because Hollywood is throwing money at her old district, and she goes,
influence in that?
Yeah. So she goes, people like Barbara Streisand and Ryan Reynolds are throwing millions of dollars. So somebody had to look it up. Barbara Streisand did, and Ryan Reynolds did donate to the Democrat on the other side. Yeah. She gave $1,000, and Ryan Reynolds gave $500. Nice. And that's all it takes. $1,500 is all it takes to get Lauren Boebert out.
She got spooked.
Yeah, just think about that. That's all it takes. Look, you get two things for that. Number one, she doesn't run. Number two, you probably get a hand day in a theater.
It makes
right?
no sense because they
$1,500.
could just do the same thing for the next district.
You know they're going to do that.
Is she gonna,
yeah, you know they're going to do that. I think people are listen. All they're saying is this: just get any other job. Just we don't want to see you or have to hear you or have you make any rules for anyone other than your children ever. Yeah, and that's probably a bad idea. Even then, it's probably her kids that are in that town in the UK running amok. All right, Mark, you ready for your movie mention?
Yeah, I got a movie to mention, Ted.
Let's hear it, brother.
All right, here we got some stuff we got to do here. If you love movies, you're going to want to go down on Mark's movie mentions. You get it? Do you get it? You will get it.
Sounds
All
like
right.
food porn.
Mark's movie mentions is brought to you by Amy's Bunny Removal Service. We come to your home and forcibly remove any bunnies, anywhere, any size, by any means necessary. Call Amy's Bunny Removal Service today.
She sounds mean.
Screw bunnies, man. What are you talking about?
Okay, I got a rabbit living in her backyard.
Hold on.
Not in your yard.
Oh, let me just type in. Let's go to amy'sbunnyremovalservice.com, and now you don't.
All right. So the movie I want to mention was it came out in 2016. It's called The Edge of 17. So remember a couple weeks ago I did a coming of age movie for a young kid, way back with Sam Rockwell.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So this is basically a coming of age movie for a girl.
Okay.
A teen girl. And it stars Haley Steinfeld, who I love.
Oh yeah, she's awesome.
Woody Harrelson.
He's good.
And Kyra Sedgwick.
Don't
Kevin
care
Bacon's
for her.
wife.
Yeah, don't care for her.
Anyway, It's a great movie. It came out in 2016, The Age of 17. $9 million budget, made about $20 million at the box office. It's like an hour and a half long. It's written and directed by Kelly, I think Freeman Craig. And it's a movie. It basically features a teenage girl, and she's just coming of age, right? And it's the movie is so it's got one of the best opening scenes of a movie. It's a comedy, so it's a coming of age comedy.
Wait, does somebody punch this girl in the?
No,
is she naked and somebody punches
but
her?
Woody Harrelson plays her. Most of the movie takes place during the school year, high school. She's like a junior, sophomore, junior. Woody Harrelson's one of her teachers. She's got an older brother who's like the most popular kid in school, and she's very
that must have been
unpopular.
what my sister was like, because I was older and I was literally the most possibly moderately
Yeah. Were you
Okay,
like
sorry,
were you like
go
an
on.
alpha?
Yeah, I was like a zeta.
So she's like the polar opposite of her brother. She has one friend basically, and then so she's finding her way. I'll give you some. Here's what this person said it best. It's a critic, Christy Punchko from The Nerdist. It's a brilliant coming of age comedy. Okay, Eric Davis from Fandango said it best. He goes, "The Edge of 17 captures the essence of what made John Hughes movies so special." So it's kind of like in that genre, right? It's a comedy. It's got some drama on it. I'm not gonna lie, there's some scenes where you might want to cry, but there's a lot of laughing going on. And Woody Harrelson's dry sense of humor in this movie is spot on. He's awesome, and Haley Steinfeld is amazing. She's an incredible actress.
Yeah, she's really
she's
good.
so good in this movie. So the movie takes place during the school year. She has like one friend. Her brother's popular, like I said. She meets someone, she has a relationship. It's really about highs and lows, and really, when it comes down to it, I don't want to spoil the movie because I want you to do like what I do and what I recommend. Just go in this movie blind. Don't watch the previews. Just start watching the movie because there's so many twists and turns that make the movie great, and there's a lot of shit that happens that just come out of nowhere. You don't expect it. If you watch the previews, it might blow some of that, especially the humor of the movie. But I will give. I'm not going to give it away, but I'm going to say this: it's about highs and lows, and it really, like, one of the morals of the movies that you take away from it is because her and her brother are kind of like adversaries in the movies because he's so popular and she's not, so she's jealous of him. So it's really about blood is thicker than water, and sometimes I think teens get lost growing up and can't realize that, and in the end, family is all that matters, right? So it's really interesting the way it plays out, and the way, it's not a spoiler, but they're brother and sister. But the movie's fantastic. The Edge of 17, it's on. I think you have to pay for it on most platforms at this point. We watched it for free a bunch of years ago because it came out in 2016. I can't remember. It's on Netflix. It's probably on Prime, but you got to pay for it. Actually, it's not on Netflix. It's not on Netflix. I looked that up. So it's on other platforms. You could pay for it for $3 or whatever. Edge of 17, great film. And Woody Harrelson's
at
awesome.
what point in the past does she go back to in the time?
No,
machine?
I was gonna lead you on, but it's not a time travel movie. It's just a coming of age comedy. Is what it's labeled as.
Okay, I mean, all comedies have to get to the funniest part. I think at some point someone has to be punched in the snoochie for me to enjoy it.
This one's got a scene close to that.
Okay,
because
I'm telling you that was the greatest thing I've ever seen.
But the lines in this movie, I think it's rated R because there's sexual content and there's language in it. But the humor in this movie, she delivers it. Woody delivers it. I mean, it's fucking awesome. I mean, there's some dark humor in it. It's really. I mean, she plays it like a 17-year-old, and it's like no holds barred. Some of the language and the comedy and the jokes that they're telling. It's fucking awesome, and it's really cool because the way back was almost the exact type of film with a male character, lead teenager, and this is the female version of it. It's awesome. It's good. It's a very good movie. It's a sleeper, man. I mean, I'm telling you, anybody watch this movie, you're just gonna.
I like that.
All right,
All right, and
good.
Ted, you have another movie that blows. Go ahead. What's your movie that sucks? What was the sequel to My Dinner with Andre? Dessert? Dessert time?
Dessert with Andre the Giant.
Dessert with Renee.
Oh, we're going to lose more listeners. And then they started the year doing more.
How about
Giant.
beer pong with Andre the Giant? Because I heard he could drink 70 beers in like an hour.
God, could you even imagine that?
Yeah. So I'm going to say this isn't a movie mentioned, but I rarely go to the movie theater. I've already seen 2 movies in the theater in the last week. I saw Iron Claw, as I was mentioning, and that's about the
Von Erichs.
The Von Erichs, which was a real wrestling family back in the late 70s and early 80s, and this is when wrestling was transitioning from like kind of the burly, like non-athletic, wrestler to like the muscular wrestlers that you see today. So that was kind of like the
fat guys in Speedos.
Yeah.
It started with fat guys in
exactly.
Speedos.
Yeah. So all I could say is that I'm a heterosexual male, but Zac Efron, man, that guy is beautiful. I mean, I'm just saying. I don't know what his workout routine was before that movie, but that guy is like, wow. I mean, whatever personal trainer he had to get ready for that movie. I'm like, there's Zac Efron. with the 1980 haircut. I'm like, it's still Zac Efron.
But you knew it was Zac Efron,
no, actually,
but you
I didn't.
still liked it.
No, when they first showed his character, like I didn't recognize him. I'm like, oh, but then when they kind of panned out to him for the first time, and it's obviously
showed his beautifulness.
But I mean, I don't know.
I think Zac Efron's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good.
He's a good actor. He's a good actor.
I like
He's a
him.
good
I
actor,
actually liked him in. He was in there's another movie I might do, but he is a good actor.
And there was a cameo by
not the stupid Neighbors movie with Seth Rogen.
No. He was in. It's called the Best Beer Run Ever. I think it's called.
Oh, I think I've heard of that. Yeah. No. I'm going to outlaw anything with Seth Rogen in it because it can't be a good movie.
He's kind of a.
You cannot recommend anything.
He was
with Seth
good
Rogen.
in some.
Who's
I'm not gonna.
Who's the other guy that reminds me of Seth Rogen? It's like they're like the same person.
The guy was in the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, right?
What's his name? The guy. He's always like
the fat guy.
Yeah, he's always the
Jonah
sidekick.
Hill.
Yeah, he's like the harmless. He's that perfect role where so when you have the really good-looking lead role, like he's like he's like the less
he's the
attractive.
other guy?
Yeah, because he's not going to take the girl or anything. Like, he's no threat to anybody. Right? He's just there to.
Yeah, I don't.
He's a useful idiot, right?
Yeah,
I used to like those two, and like.
I can't do it, man. I just
super
can't.
bad. They were good.
Now
and
he's got
super
this.
bad.
Now he's got this like weird big tattoo on his. They showed like a picture of him recently. He lost a lot of weight, but he's got this weird giant. It's almost like a journey.
I think that's to cover his third nipple. This is the story I'm telling.
Marky Mark's got a third nipple.
Wait, he does?
Yeah.
Oh.
My son's got a third nipple.
Oh man, that's something he did not want the whole world to know. He did not want the entire world to know that.
He doesn't know it.
He doesn't know he's got a third nipple. You didn't.
That's what
it's where
Marky Mark has one.
On his butt?
No, on his on the front. It's
Come
usually.
on, he would have gotten every move. That's
Was
like
that-
saying
was
Jamie Lee
He
Curtis
does.
has a
It's
penis.
not a secret. I mean, everybody. I mean, it's.
You're gonna have to prove that to me. I don't believe it.
You could look it up. I
I'm
mean,
not
it's
going to
a
look up
fucking-
his third nipple. Yeah, if I'm going to look up a third nipple, it's going to be on a girl. I'm not going to look up a guy's third nipple.
So what you're saying? That's where you get your tattoo. Like if you want to cover up a third nipple, you get a tattoo over the third nipple, like a dragon's eye or something.
or
like a
something
dragon's
right in the
face.
center of your chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Which
All
draws
right.
even more attention.
Well,
to yourself.
not. I mean, not all third nipples are like as big or like looks like your like other nipples.
All third nipples are not created equal.
I've never seen anybody with a third nipple. I have no idea what a third
Marky
nipple
Mark's got a third nipple.
I've heard that. I heard that on a podcast, but I thought it was bullshit.
What about seventh son of a seventh son?
Yes.
Like Iron Maiden.
I have no idea. All right, do you guys go to McDonald's? Teddy, you eat at McDonald's,
Yeah,
right?
once in a great while.
All right. Mark, eat at McDonald's at all?
Yeah, I love McDonald's.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Okay, don't go to McDonald's in North Carolina.
All right, what happened?
It gets a little violent. So there's a woman in North Carolina. She just became a manager. She's training to be a manager at a McDonald's.
All right.
Okay. Now this is where it gets weird. She has a problem with one of her employees, who she says is being disrespectful. So if an employee's being disrespectful, you're at McDonald's. What would you guys do?
What? An
You're the
employee
manager.
being disrespectful.
So
at
you're the
McDonald's.
manager at McDonald's. You're the new manager.
Well, whatever the rules McDonald's has in place to reprimand a disrespectful employee, you got to follow that rule.
Well, it's like
Okay.
any. It's any.
I don't
it's
know
any,
what
it's,
the rules
it's,
are.
Well, it's any,
Well, I mean, what does common sense tell
Well,
you?
it's like any manager-subordinate relationship. You have I'm assuming there's like an employee handbook, and I'm sure and disrespect could be like a very subjective thing. It could just be like the tone of the voice. It doesn't have to be like she's following.
Like
say
passive-aggressive?
say this person's like following directions, but they're just
Yeah.
kind of doing it like with a smirk on their face or an eye roll, which I guess is still disrespectful. So maybe you pull them
That's the
aside.
way I talk to you every day.
Oh, is that what's going on? That's why I feel so bullied. Anyway, so listen. So is it more like here's what I would do if I was a supervisor? Just obviously without making a scene and embarrassing this employee in front of everybody else, just take them aside and just maybe have a little one-on-one before you have to escalate it further to like some performance improvement plan, perhaps.
At McDonald's, I don't think are there performance improvement plans at McDonald's. Isn't it just go work at Burger King?
I'm telling you.
Don't
but
you get fired and go
that-
work at Burger King?
McDonald's is a huge corporation.
Yeah.
It doesn't get much. I mean, there's not many bigger than that.
Hamburger University. I mean, they sort of
Yeah,
send
they
people
have to
for.
have.
Yeah, they got.
I mean, they've probably got. Yeah.
That's a multi-billion.
So I mean, I guess
business, yeah, so.
if without knowing the details of what they say you should do, I would say you just gotta like call a timeout, put them in,
You have no employees. You clearly work for yourself. Call a timeout.
Go to your office. I mean,
What
get
are
them
you
off.
gonna
Get them
throw a
off.
flag?
Get them off the floor. Go to the office and explain to them what they're doing in your mind, and say it needs to stop.
So when he's like, I'm the goddamn manager of McDonald's, and all you are is a fry cook like that. You
Well, you don't want to really
Not
push it that way.
like the Brad, like Brad from Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah.
Or what about Crimson Tide? Like Crimson Tide when the Gene Hackman character told Denzel Washington, he goes, "I'm the commander of this boat."
Yeah. Okay. So then you're gonna say you're probably gonna say that this was not the way to handle it. So this woman, she decided to call her husband and ask him to come over and deal with the problem. Yeah. Now he's
What state is this in?
North Carolina.
Okay.
So he's a part-time trucker and a part-time pastor.
And a badass motherfucker.
So you would assume if he's a part-time pastor and a part-time trucker,
he's got good listening skills.
Yeah, does it say
He mentors
Teddy
people.
has a bumper sticker on his 18-wheeler. Jesus is my co-pilot.
Something like that. Yeah.
what?
You ever see those bumper stickers? Jesus is my co-pilot.
I just gotta.
You know what I always say to him? Why doesn't he help you change lanes and use your turn signal?
You know what I do? I got a vibe this is going to end badly, but go ahead.
Okay. So he came over and he decided to not do the pastor part, but to do the truck driver part. And I guess he walked in and she pointed to the employee who was given the problems, and he grabbed that employee, a guy, by the neck with both hands.
Wow.
And
in the middle of his shift, like while he's working?
Yes, right there.
Oh,
and
okay.
and tried to shove his face into the frying oil.
Wow.
Yes. And that was a response, and he tried to do that, and they kind of broke apart, and he couldn't get his face in there, though he tried, and then he beat the shit out of him.
So that's not how you're supposed to do it. That's not what you learn at
hold on.
Hamburger College.
So I got
Does
the
it get worse?
McDonald's employee handbook.
Does it get worse?
Hold on, let me open it up to page disrespectful employees. Let's see, a good stern talking to.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't work, shove his face into the
I
frying
thought you were
oil.
gonna say call timeout. Call
inflict
timeout.
No, inflict third-degree burns at any opportunity you get.
So I was thinking the first thing I thought of, because they said he was a part-time pastor, was I thought maybe he was just trying to baptize him. He's just into the fiery waters of hell.
And so what happened to this manager? and
Unfortunately,
her husband.
Nothing, because it was her husband.
Unfortunately, due to her husband's actions, she is no longer managing at McDonald's.
Or employed by McDonald's,
Right.
in any capacity.
Hopefully neither of them are.
She's managing Wendy's now,
Yeah.
which has much lower standards.
She's at Checkers.
Yeah,
I like
much
Checkers.
much lower standards.
Yeah.
But yeah, isn't that? I mean, why would just think about that? You call your husband to deal with a kid?
Yeah.
He's got to be a kid, right?
I mean, obviously this woman has no leadership skills, no managerial skills, and obviously
Ted,
zero problem-solving skills.
Yeah. Well, she was training to be a manager.
Well,
and I
So,
would
so,
say,
so my question. So here's my question. My question is, who was she sitting with right before she got a promotion? Where she's sitting down and whatever she told this person, where this person said, "Yes, Agnes, you got what it takes to manage this McDonald's." Yes.
Well, don't you go through scenarios? I mean, I would imagine you're just like, okay, well, let's see.
So I'm saying, who's interviewing this person?
You did say it was North Carolina.
Where they were so enamored with them, where they say, "Yes, you're the candidate for the job," versus. I'm assuming she might be the only, not the only, because being a manager anywhere, regardless of whether it's fast food, is still.
I don't think people are
pays.
lining up to manage
Yeah, but I mean,
McDonald's,
but
Teddy.
but I'm saying I've seen advertisements for like managers, like at fast food restaurants, wherever they may be, and they actually pay like a decent living wage, and it's a responsibility. I mean, it's like you got to manage people. It doesn't really matter what the job is per se, whether it's a machine shop or fast food. But that's my question: Who is this person who identified this talent and said, "Well, we got to have this
they gotta be
person"?
fired too,
They got to be
right?
fired too.
Yeah. Yeah,
And maybe that person's boss as well.
They're franchised, so McDonald's is our franchised.
Yeah, I mean, I
there's
have
an
no idea
operator.
how it works, but I feel like if you go through it and you're like, okay, so there's a 17-year-old kid who's giving you some shit. What do? Shove his face in the fryer? Oh no, and then no, wait, hold on. Get my husband to do that?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like
it's gonna be like the Chargers. You got to fire the coach and the GM. You got to fire them both, right? You got to fire them both.
Because he can't sell the team.
No.
And you saw that video of the Panthers owner, the Carolina Panthers owner, who threw a drink
David Tepper.
Yeah, who threw a drink on one of the fans. His own fan, by the way.
Well, they had it covered. Yes.
Yeah, his own fan.
If I was a fan, I'd like, can you autograph this guy, Mr. Tepper?
Think about it. I mean, you've already lost all these games.
When is that lawsuit going to hit?
Oh man, you know you're going to get something.
I told you he should have fallen to the ground and got up with an ice cube in his eye.
Started screaming.
Well, that's what that cameraman. Remember when the Dennis Rodman years ago kicked the cameraman at the side court, and you could tell he wasn't hurt.
That guy actually got hurt.
But he like
That guy was hurt.
he was like hesitating. Then he doubled over. They took him on a stretcher. That was all bullshit.
No,
obviously.
that dude got hurt.
No, he wasn't hurt.
Yeah, Teddy,
Yeah,
He didn't even get kicked in the groin.
Teddy lost a leg.
And
I have no idea. I sort of kind of
and he
remember
gained,
that.
And he gained a mansion.
Yeah, I kind of remember that. Okay, so we've been talking about doing this, and this would be the perfect time to do it. A segment called "Is This the Hill You Want to Die On?"
Is this the Jonah Hill you want to die on?
Is this the Jonah Hill? No, because I
that's
want
what I
Jonah Hill
wanted
to
to call
die.
it.
No, I want Jonah Hill to die all the time. No. Okay, so this is and basically what it is you pick this time to stand up for something.
in your entire life, you live the life of you're leading a life of just basically an average life. You go to work, you come home. But this is the one thing you're kind of like putting your life out. Like this could be a life-changing event. Like you could go to
Absolutely.
prison.
We're
you
talking
could,
about a situation where someone makes a stand.
No, just something that makes
Yeah.
a stand where it's like this outside your normal character. But out of all the scenarios that have unfolded in your life, this is the one scenario where like you cannot let this aggression stand. You got to say something and do something, even if it costs you your reputation,
Or worse.
possibly your life.
Or worse. Okay. So if you guys remember Ian Ziering, he was on 90210.
Wait, I thought you were going to do something
I
else.
vaguely recall.
No, I sent you this new thing.
I know, but
Yeah.
you had
this
something
one's
before,
better.
though.
This one's actually better. He starred in all the Sharknado movies. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So recently he was driving in L.A. and he was accosted by some youths on mini bikes. Okay. And
What's a mini bike? Like a scooter?
No,
Not even
you-
like a
it's like
motorcycle.
a scooter.
You haven't seen these things? They're all around Chicago, too, now. They ride around in gangs.
Yeah, but they're like
They
actually
terrorize the fucking streets doing wheelies
they're
and
like
stuff.
they're like mini motorcycles.
yeah.
yeah. I know
They
what
do
you're talking-
wheelies up and down the streets and go.
How terrifying is a wheelie?
I've
They're
seen them
weaving
do it, yeah.
inside and out of traffic, doing wheelies, going on the incoming traffic. It's insane.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
mean, I guess they do that until they don't do that anymore.
Right.
Right. Okay. So what happened was Ian and
They
his
cause accidents.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
Ian and his daughter, his like 14-year-old daughter, was in the car, and the youths came around his car and were being mean in some way. They
I think one of them hit his car, and he
Could've-
got out to assess the damage.
Yeah. So and they were probably saying mean things like you're a terrible actor. We saw Sharknado. It was subpar.
Yeah.
Right. So he gets out of. So now, mind you, it's in traffic, and his daughter, his
Is in the
14-year-old
car,
daughter,
yeah.
is in the car.
Yeah.
He gets out of the car, and this is
Big mistake.
So, and this is what he says. He says, unfortunately, it escalated into a physical
Yeah,
confrontation.
no shit. What else would it escalate into?
Yeah. So he got out. He saw that there were kids, and he probably motherfucked them, right?
Yeah.
Like you would, and then didn't realize that
There's like
10
10
or
there's
12,
10 of them.
10
yeah.
or 12, 15-year-olds
Can beat up
one Ian Ziering.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
15 on
Easily,
one.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like
You
you're
know,
in
you
the
know,
UK.
kids these days are actually pretty damn big. They're like bigger than adults. Like
yeah.
a 15-year-old.
Well, they're probably drunk. They probably came over from Europe. Yeah.
And he's
Devin,
I,
they came from Devon.
and I know he's a listener to the show. And this segment's just starting here. We're starting the segment on his hill that he chose to die on.
Yes.
Right. But if we had had this segment a week earlier, as he was opening that door,
He would have thought about it.
the back of his mind, he would have heard Ted's voice going, "Is this the hill you want to die on?"
Yeah.
And he would have paused and he would have shut that door.
Yep.
And
So
locked it-
now
and
we're
locked it.
hoping that this segment helps others.
We're gonna help. We're gonna help
Yeah.
the next Ian Ziering.
So the next time
Yeah.
Yeah.
you want to get out of the car and confront the Shriners,
A
say to
marauding,
yourself,
a marauding group of
"Is this the hill you want to die on?"
You have to say to yourself, if that guy's willing to wear that hat, what else would he do?
Yeah.
Isn't that what you're picturing these mini bikes, like the Shriners in
Yes.
those cars?
Yeah. So here's the best part. So as he's out there and they're hitting him and they're basically beating the shit out of him.
Yeah.
This is the funniest part. What does he do? He runs away. He literally leaves his daughter in the car, and he runs
What?
away. Yeah. He ran away.
I thought there was video of this. I
Yeah,
thought he defended himself and got back in the car.
No, first he,
He ran away?
He ran
I'll see you
away
later,
from that.
Haley. I gotta go.
Yep.
And his
yep.
car's stuck in traffic, right? So there's
Yeah.
obviously
Oh, Mom, I
multiple
love
people
you
there.
guys.
It's not like he's on a dark, lonesome road. These, there's like heavy traffic with multiple
Yeah.
witnesses in broad
Yeah.
daylight. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's running away.
Yeah.
And then he runs back because he realizes probably at this point, holy shit, this is probably everywhere, and I've just left my daughter to this marauding band of European scum kids that come over here and with the
Yeah.
weird hats. Yeah, is that awesome? They literally have video of him running away.
I didn't see
Is
that, but
fucking awesome?
but I heard he was okay though. I did hear he wasn't.
So
Yeah.
I had to. I was just as I'm thinking about
When
this.
is he
I'm
going to
writing
get
it down.
sued? When's the lawsuit coming out?
Yeah. So here's what I was thinking. I mean, this band of kids, I mean, would they call them Hex Angels?
What if he accidentally drove into a parade and those really were Shriners? And they were attacking him because he drove into the parade.
Oh my God! I mean, all that could happen was something bad.
Well, I mean, once you said he
stay
got
in-
out of
stay
the
in the
car,
car, yeah.
Once someone's like aggressive to you and you're in your car, assuming they're not pulling a gun on you, but I mean, you have the option of just staying in your car, ignoring what's going on, finding the nearest police station.
Well, he has a cell phone,
Well,
and he's a celebrity.
Yeah, well, plus two.
There's a number they dial in L.A.
Minor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Minor.
Well, plus two. Okay,
Celebrity.
so
Did I mention he's a minor?
so a person with the crappiest car, like let's just say you have the lightest,
That's
smallest
you,
car.
Ted.
Yeah, you have
That's
the
you.
lightest, but and there's somebody on a motorcycle. Guess what?
Ted said, "Yeah."
But I'm just saying you still have the advantage because you're in a car and they're on a motorcycle. So let's just say they got super aggressive.
I don't know if you have an advantage in
and
your
start
car.
chasing-
But I mean, yeah, in your car you don't.
Yeah. No, you don't.
Yeah, it would probably just die right there. Yeah, actually, a motorcycle is probably bigger than your car.
Well,
Just-
Ted
just
has a button to open the hatch.
just
If they get too
Shoots
close
him
to the
out.
back.
yeah, don't get out of the car. That's rule number one. Don't never get out of the car.
Yeah,
Never get out of the car.
Yeah, because I guess he said he got out because and by the way he shitbagged the cops. He shitbagged everybody after this that they would allow this sort of recklessness. But he said he got out because he thought his car was damaged. I'm like, that's what
That's
insurance
what I
is
mean,
for.
yeah.
That's what you have insurance.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
For
worry about that later.
Bands
Yeah.
of reckless
Yeah.
Utes.
Yeah, you.
Yeah. I thought that was absolutely the funniest thing I'd ever heard.
I got a Hill You Want to Die On story too, but it's got a Hitman vibe to it. Do you want to hear it?
We're going to
Ted,
double down on this.
more than anything.
It's only gonna take 1 second.
More than anything in the whole world, I want to hear your story off of Wikipedia.
California woman brought guns and down payment to meet hitman, have her husband killed in bitter divorce. So a California equestrian whose bitter divorce threatened to end her lavish West Coast lifestyle.
Did you say equestrian?
She likes horses. She rides horses.
No, she doesn't like horses. She rides horses.
She rides horses, yeah, which
Okay.
is a very expensive hobby. Pled guilty to a failed murder for hire plot targeting her wealthy estranged husband, Tatiana Remley, who, of course, is probably a mail-order bride from Czechoslovakia at some point, who's 42.
Man, you just go rogue on everybody.
And
I
then-
love that.
Her husband, Mark, 58. And, yeah, I don't have her picture, but, yeah, she's hot. She's posing in bikinis. She's got this guy's name tattooed on her, in her thigh area or on her hip.
Wow. You know what? That's true love.
Yeah.
That's when you know at least you've bought yourself a high-quality young woman wife.
You just bought her. You actually bought her affections. You didn't actually buy
but
her.
you know what you have to do? You have to be worried. You have to look first where she's going to put it and see if there hasn't been like any laser removal stuff. Like
The other guy's name, yeah.
Wait, is that?
Or make sure there's no hair going to grow there over it.
Yeah, because he's like, wait, that. Are there other names there?
Is that
those are letters?
Did I say Boris?
Where's my name?
So
Why
long,
is it so hairy
so,
there now?
So long story short, she went to go meet a hitman who, of course, was an undercover detective and recorded everything. And these people live in, I guess, in a $5 million house. She only got 4 years. She pleaded guilty.
What is the hill?
Wait, but
the hill she chose to die in is like, I'm gonna kill my husband because he's gonna divorce me and he's gonna cut me off from my lavish lifestyle. So instead of just divorcing him and just kind of having it play out in court, she took that the hill she wanted to die on was like, I'm gonna kill him and I'm gonna have everything.
That's a hill that a lot of male order brides take.
And it didn't work out. I don't know if she's a mail order bride, but I saw her picture.
I love that we're jumping to that conclusion.
They do like a King of the Hill.
King of the
Hill.
Yeah,
That's
King
the
of the
king of the hill you want to die on.
Yeah. Starring Hank Hill.
You're the king of the hill.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, yeah. I mean, isn't that? I mean, listen. This is you got to take this. You got to take away this. Kill him yourself. If you're gonna kill your husband,
Don't hire the FBI.
don't just kill him yourself.
Well, here's what he did wrong. So she had a $50,000 a month allowance that was cut to $15,000.
What?
Yeah,
I would kill him. I would kill him. Listen,
Yeah.
she should have come to me because I would have fucking killed him
See?
immediately.
See?
I would have done it for nothing. I would have done.
know,
She would have had to tattoo my name on her other thigh.
This aggression
for
will not
sure.
stand. Yes. So,
She would have absolutely had to tattoo
look
my
at
name.
look at every woman who did it themselves. The two poisoning ladies, the one in Utah and the other one with the
I don't think poisoning is the way. I think you got to like blow something up or something. You
Cut-
can't leave anything
You
left.
got to cut a brake line, right? I mean, you got to.
No. There has to be an explosion, and all traces of proof have to be gone. Yeah, that's the. I mean, there's only one way to do it, and you can't involve anybody else.
And even that doesn't work anymore either.
What was that? What was
And
that?
you have to find books at the library.
Forensics,
Don't get online.
forensic science is so good now.
What
You
was
can't
that?
even blow up
You
a
can't even
building.
blow somebody up.
What was that Hitchcock movie where the two guys, they were two random strangers, they met on a train and they agreed to kill each other's spouses, and that was going to be the perfect crime because
Throw mama from the train.
no, because there was no connection. They were just two random commuters who started
Yeah, I know.
talking on
That's
their
actually a really good. Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
they concocted a plan because like they don't
What's that called?
there's no
It's,
connection. It was a Hitchcock movie.
Yeah, I know.
And there's
North
no
by
con-
Northwest.
Yes.
Is it? No, it's one.
You
of
should do a
those,
movie
right?
mention on that one if you could find the title.
It doesn't work that way.
Oh, okay.
You can't tell Mark what to movie mention. That's a terrible idea. All right, so I got to end
My
it on
movie
this.
mention is a movie that Ted mentioned for my movie mention.
Comes from the heart.
I want to
after my
mention.
movie
Yeah, I
mention.
want to mention Ted's
His movie mention comes from the heart.
Yeah, but you only dislike movies, so this is I don't know if that would
No,
work.
there's movies I like.
All right, so
You
so
just mentioned 2 movies.
the other day I was looking. We talked about Mike Johnson, right, and his porn addiction, his serious porn addiction, and his daughter
Define serious.
worse than mine. Anybody's
Wow,
porn
that's-
addiction that's worse
Wait,
than
who's
mine.
this? This is the
Speaker of the House.
That man
Yeah.
is a forensic
Okay.
psychiatrist.
Right. So what I found out was that he took his daughter to, when she was young, she was like 12 or something, to a purity ball. And they've actually gone multiple years. And this is where dads, this is really fucking bizarre.
Oh no.
Dads take their daughters to this ball. They dress them up. It's really, I mean, like really dress them up.
I've
Almost like
heard-
wedding.
I've heard 'em, yeah.
Almost
It's
like
not,
wedding.
it's
type.
not,
No,
it's
like-
not a daddy daughter dance. It's called a purity ball.
A purity ball. So it is a daddy daughter dance, but in a weird, sick way.
It's like some John Benet Ramsey vibe to it.
So
yeah,
so
yeah.
they dress them up.
Really?
Yeah, they dress them up, and then they make the girls and the dad and the girls sign a pledge that says they won't have sex before marriage.
Oh my God,
Oh yeah.
they have to bring that up.
Oh yeah. That's what this thing is.
Oh, that's what
Pure-
the definition
the
of
purity
is.
ball is. This thing is that.
also
thing.
known as a chastity
Because
belt ball.
Because they want to make sure they can wear white on their wedding day.
Yeah, I don't know what it's
I
for.
don't know.
And
That's
it's,
weird.
And it's weird that it's the dad, right? And so the dad signs his thing that he'll be moral, right? Even though her dad had a pretty serious porn addiction. And then the girl signs it, right? Now,
Even though you can't, there's obviously they're not of the age of consent to sign. Obviously, it's not a legal contract because they're 12. They can't sign anything.
And then they go multiple years. They go.
doesn't mean anything.
They'll go
Well,
12,
this isn't
13,
a binding
14,
contract.
15.
It's just
yeah.
like a thing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like a
you
promise.
can't-
It's like a promise
Could you
ring.
imagine that?
It's like a promise
Taking her to
ring.
court.
You're 17.
They're suing her
Yeah.
daughter.
Yeah, you're suing her because you walked in and she was banging the head football. That,
She
the
signed this when she
quarterback.
was 8.
Yeah, yeah. Well, some are really young. Okay, so I looked this up and I was just like, okay, this is weird, and we'll get into it at another time because I got some people that want to come on and talk about this, and which I think is gonna be cool. But it's a much later date. But
Who?
there's experts on this stuff.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, they've written. So there's a woman.
I want to hear what they have to say.
this woman has written about this because I guess it started in Colorado. It's all rich. It's all
like a-
rich.
like a-
white
I'm sure it's like a
people. Super
it's like a
rich.
subculture.
Yeah, super rich.
Subculture, yeah.
But it's kind of expanded. But when I was looking at that, I ran into an advertisement for a school. Okay, this is a real place. This is absolutely as real can be. It's called the Purely Woman School of Grace.
Is that BYU?
No, it is not a college. It
You
is
signed that contract
so-
at BYU.
So this is the Purely Woman School of Grace. Their advertisement is
PWSG.
yeah, to discover the art of grace and beauty as we celebrate God's powerful design and influence of the feminine spirit. And now, when you think about that, that actually sounds pretty good, right? Like empowering. It's like, hey, we're empowering women, right?
But it means something, right?
It absolutely has nothing to do
Yeah.
with empowering women. Okay, so you ready for this? It's a week-long school. It begins every day at 9 o'clock, ends at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, because women are tired. They don't have that endurance that men do. You know
oh,
that.
bro.
I'm in bed by 3.
Oh, bro.
The
You're gonna get
ladies,
a couple
hold on,
emails on
hold
that.
on. The ladies will learn how to create lovely environments of welcome and beauty, and learn the basics of etiquette, grace, and hosting.
So how to be basically a servant to your husband. It's like
Yes.
a training for that.
And then it says, we will practice the charm of posture and mingling, the art of valuing others, asking wise questions, how to formally set a table, host with grace, and many other venues of beauty.
Sounds like a catering school. It's like if you want to be a good caterer.
This is crazy.
It's
It's
2024.
2023. Now, yeah, no.
24. See, even I remember that. I had to think about it. I honestly was going to say 2004 again. Yeah, this is real.
What's the
Okay.
tuition?
I couldn't find anything with cost,
Oh,
but I'm
yeah.
imagining just from the pictures. And by the way, if you are not a blonde-haired white girl, don't even bother going because there were no other pictures. That was it, man. I don't even think there were brunettes or redheads in there. That was it. It was the only pictures they had.
No sinners.
No sinners. All saints. Yeah. And whatever you think this is, it is exactly that thing. Okay? And are you ready? There's a waiting list to get in.
Yeah.
There is a waiting list to get in this place.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, you create something, you just add a little mystique to it, and people want it. I mean, that's just psychology, man.
I want to get into business.
It's like moving stuff at Costco.
You know what? You could probably sell these people anything.
You could. Yeah, well, only if the salesman looks one particular way. Because I would imagine
Right.
that's the only thing
if he looks like Ward Cleaver.
Yeah. But yeah, and that is a real live thing. The Purely Woman School of Grace. You don't believe me? Get
what
online
state
and
is that
check
again?
it out. I do not remember what town, what state
Colorado.
is in.
Oh,
But I
Colorado.
think it's somewhere in Colorado,
I think
something like
yeah.
that. Yeah,
All
so,
right.
and it's in one of those, it's such a weird thing. Like, and I think Mark is right. I think we're like regressing, right?
Yeah,
like,
totally.
like somehow, some way, we went from we went from all of a sudden it was like, hey, you know what? Everybody should just kind of be who they are, and then somebody went, no, everyone has to be the way they were. Like 70 years ago, that's the only way to be.
I actually just saw a movie on, I think, Netflix not too long ago, and it had that. Who's the guy who played Captain Kirk on Star Wars? Chris Pine. Chris Pine.
Yes.
Star Trek. Yeah, Chris Pine. So it's a movie without giving it away. Like it goes back to an ideal time, like in the 50s, where the woman, she's wearing a dress, she waits on the husband. And then I won't give it away, but yeah, but that's so they are regressing, but people are signing up for that because that's what they want. So there are people. So the selling point is we don't want all this progress. We don't want people to be in power. We want to go back to the way things were, into an idyllic time like the 1950s and 40s, where it's romanticized, but just kind of have the best of that at all times if possible, and kind of ignore and tune out the outside world. Kind of like that M. Night Shyamalan movie. The one where they're in
they're in the little town.
Their town, and they
that.
stay in there. Yeah, it's like a little nature preserve, but but like it's like this in the
It's like
1600s.
forced Amishness.
There's a
Yeah.
theme to this.
Yeah, what was the name of that movie? That
I have
Shyamalan
no
movie?
idea.
Yeah,
The Village.
Yes,
Village,
The
yeah.
I think
yeah.
it was The Village.
Yeah, The Village. Yeah.
There's a theme here, and it's based on the color of your skin.
It really is.
Those are those. I mean, middle-aged white people of well-to-do want to go back to a time where everyone's just like them.
Yeah, where they can
They're
do
afraid-
anything they
they're
want.
afraid-
Yeah,
yeah.
but it's really
They're
weird,
afraid
right?
of losing. Yeah.
It's really bizarre, and they use the guise of religion to kind of, but it's really
Nobody
weird.
else wants to go back to the 50s.
No, I'm 100% sure. That's why that's why it's like, how could you trick a girl? So say you got a 18-year-old or 16-year-old daughter, you're going to send her there. In what world does she live where she's going to go to this thing and actually go?
Yeah.
It almost seems impossible, right?
Well, I mean, there's obviously, depending how susceptible they are psychologically, like if they've been raised that way their whole life,
A
they're
waiting
kinda
list.
Yeah. So obviously there are people out there who they kind of, whatever Kool-Aid they drank or whatever they were raised in, whatever environment they were in, and this is just kind of reinforcing that belief by having these formal classes. Well,
I
yeah.
can
So
see
to
that.
answer your question, there you go.
Lots, yeah.
I thought you were going to say, to answer your question, is this the hill you want to die on?
Oh my God. Yeah, I guess it's probably hard
That
to
is a
overcome
hill.
some of the stuff your parents are say to you, right? Like, it's got to be hard not to. If your parents are saying certain things to you, it's probably hard not to have some of that sink in, no matter what, right?
No. Because I probably say empty the dishwasher 5 times a day. It's not sinking in.
No,
It's not sinking in.
I think what we're talking about is like more like philosophical beliefs. Like this is your belief system, and you kind of impress that upon your kids at a young age. And then obviously when they get older, they can make their own choices. But I'm just saying, when you're young and you're kind of in the same household, it's tough to not drink some of that Kool-Aid, or at least go along with it because you don't want to piss off your parents, right? Like if you don't want to disagree with them.
You know what? I would imagine, especially if there's money, right? Like if your folks have a ton of dough, and you're like,
You can get
okay,
cut
I can go to
off.
college,
Yeah.
but I mean, I know I can ask for anything I want. I can get whatever I want.
Yeah.
I can do whatever I want. If I got to sit through this bullshit,
Yeah, it's like joining the Live Golf Tour. All you got to say, I'm here to grow the game, and not my bank account. And then here's $300 million.
Always comes back to the Live Golf Tournament.
everything comes back to golf.
Circle
Everything comes back to golf.
Slow your roll.
It's messed up. All right, so let's put a pin in this, or let's pull the pin. Yeah, let's pull the pin. No, don't put a pin in it. We can end. Teddy, last thoughts.
Wow, I really had fun this episode. First show of 2024. Got off to a good start. I liked your movie mention, Mark. Tip was good. Terrence, good luck to you in Boston.
Yeah, no kidding, Terrence. Good luck, man.
God bless, brother.
God bless.
Oh,
Marquise, last thought.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that I have all these like last year jokes.
Don't do
I
it.
wasn't going to do it.
He
Matt,
did it.
Matt already reprimanded
Fuck.
me.
He did it yesterday.
No,
so
no.
so yesterday before he comes over, I'm like, hey man, you coming over? And he's like, oh, yeah. He goes, I spent all year making wings. And I'm like, no,
Spent
don't.
the whole year in my kitchen.
Yeah,
and I
no,
haven't had a
don't.
beer since last year.
Yeah, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there's a 2-drink minimum.
Well, I told him before you come over, I go get all that shit out at your house.
I did.
Yeah.
I talked to myself for hours.
Yeah, tell you every
So I
every
didn't tell
stupid
one- not
beginning
one
of the
joke
year
when I came.
joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
No.
somebody asked if we were going to do our New Year's resolutions, and I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't
No, we don't do
don't
that.
make them.
I don't do
but
that.
don't make them. Don't do it. It's stupid. If you need a new year to change the way you are, you're not going to change. Yeah, it's not going to.
There was something I said to myself today that I was going to start doing. It wasn't a New Year's resolution. Now I can't remember what it was.
the neighbor chick.
Personal life goal.
No, it was like a self-improvement thing where like I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to try and make an effort not to do that anymore.
Oh, picking your nose.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Just
stopped.
say,
I stopped last
just
year.
Say, do you have goals?
I have no goals.
Okay, well, there you go.
No
All right, so
goals.
next.
But hey, first day of the new year, I'm working a job,
Nice.
and you know what? I'm gonna do it tomorrow.
You just said you're working a job.
Working a job. I'm doing it
It
tomorrow.
sounds like he's in the mob.
Yeah, he's like,
I'm working this
hey.
job right now.
Yeah, I'm meeting a chick. She's gonna bring me the guns and the money.
Teddy put
and
me
all
on
I got to do.
Teddy
is,
put
is
me on this
rat her out.
job.
Yeah,
Teddy
Exactly.
put me on this job.
yeah. All right. Listen, everybody. Oh, man, so glad we're here for year 3.
What
This
about you?
is
What's your
so
final
cool.
thought?
I'm literally glad we're here for year 3.
Oh, okay.
I am super excited about it. Let's see. Coming up next week, we got an author of I'm a Lebowski, You're a Lebowski, so I can't wait for that. We got a guy who's going to talk about from Australia, who's going to talk about free diving. And if you don't know anything about free diving, when you find out about this, you are going to lose your shit. This might be the craziest sport of any sport I have ever heard of in my life.
Free diving?
Free diving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry if you don't know anything about
No,
it.
I
you
do.
don't wanna
I
look it
met
up.
a guy. There's
Yeah.
free diving like for fishing and stuff like that. People free dive.
You
It's
don't
about going
fish.
underwater, right?
Yeah, but you don't fish. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well,
It's how long you can hold. It's basically how long you can hold your
in
breath.
Hawaii, there's certain fish that you can only in crabs that you can only fish old school way by hand. You have to free dive, go down. Yeah.
Oh man!
I swear to God.
I was. There was no water around. I got crabs twice in college. Yeah, I didn't need
So
any
is the
water
author,
whatsoever.
who's the author of I'm a Lebowski, You're a
Bill
Lebowski?
Green.
So he didn't write I'm a pepper, you're a pepper.
Oh my god!
Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too?
Okay, and with that and the shitty dad jokes, yeah, and we got some other stuff coming up. It's gonna be great. Keep listening. Tell everybody, man, get on social media and like us. There's something going on, and we need that. We need a little bit of that, and we will see everybody next week.